Hello and welcome to U.S. Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. Some of the top women's lacrosse players in Division II have gathered today to face off in the IWLCA All-Star Game. Hi, Lax fans. Jeremy Huber here with Monica Moore. And Monica, our second game of the day. We saw the Division I All-Star Game earlier. An exciting matchup where the North beat the South 12-11. A lot of known players in this one. Maybe not as many known players being its D2, but really some talented players on display here today.
Absolutely. There's so many players I am excited about getting to see play today. And for the North, it all starts with Emily Bitka. She is one of those impressive players on the offensive end of the field. She is third in Division II lacrosse. 3.78 assists per game. She has done such a good job distributing the ball this year. Also had 20 goals to go along with those impressive assist statistics. And then the other player to watch for the North is Alyssa Milano at a New York Institute of Technology. You see the goal numbers that she put up. She is fourth in Division II in goals per game with 4.58. She was the ECC Attacker of the Year. So another player on offense that you expect to set off some fireworks here today.
And for the South team, again, some talented players are there. Who are some folks to keep an eye out for, Monica?
One of the big ones out of Belmont Abbey is Rebecca Luca. She's 10th in Division II with 4.26 goals per game, 81 on the season. She was the Conference Carolinas leader in goals this year. And when you see that assist number too, the number of points that she put up this year for Belmont Abbey, a very impressive player out on the field. And then one of the players perhaps I've been most excited about seeing today is Shannon Sisk. She's currently second in the nation in assists, 82 assists on the season. And to go along with all the impressive lacrosse statistics that she has been able to put up, she was the Conference Carolinas Women's Lacrosse Scholar Athlete of the Year. So getting it done out on the field, getting it done in the classroom was Shannon Sisk this year.
Yeah, obviously, anytime you can put that up on your resume, not only the on-the-field attributes, but also the off-the-field when it comes to the classroom, the reason you're there, especially at the D2 level, such a great accomplishment. Well, our starting lineup's being introduced right now in this one. Our lineup section in general being introduced. Also on the coaching sidelines, we got a few notables there as well. North coach today, Meghan McNamara out of LIU Post. Again, she is really comes to tops when it comes to Division II, when it comes to winning percentage.
Absolutely. She is first among Division II coaches in terms of winning percentage, 84.4%. She also ranks as the fifth winningest coach among all divisions by percentage. I mean, that is an extremely impressive line next to the name of Meghan McNamara.
We're seeing some of the staff, coaching staff in this one. Really should be a fun day. The only issue we may have today is a little bit of weather expected. Don't know when or if that's going to hit. But again, we're trying to go ahead and get these in. Rules of this game are such, playing the 30-minute halves, running clock, and really, Monica, in the first game, we'd expect it to be the same here. Fast-paced game because, unlike sometimes in women's lacrosse, a lot of penalties called. They're letting the ladies play today.
They did let the ladies play in the first half. We got our first free position opportunity and our only one of the entire game with 10 minutes into the second half. So it certainly kept the pace of the game up, and then neither team was holding on to the ball for very long until we got to the end of that contest with the Division I players, where the North was trying to hang on to their one-goal lead. But also would be remiss if we didn't introduce the coach for the Division II South All-Stars, which is Julia Duffy from Merrimack College, having a great season. They got to that NE10 championship this year where they lost to Adelphi. So great coaching battle today. And those two coaches in the first game, we were so impressed with what the assistant coaches did, assistant coach Amy Altig and, of course, assistant coach Lauren Gunning. And so that has been another great thing today, too, is just to see these coaches and the adjustments that they made at halftime and how they coach their teams out on the field.
Winding down our starting lineups in this one. Anybody else kind of catch your eye in this game? Someone else you're looking forward to seeing, Monica?
Yeah, so we haven't focused as much on the goalkeepers today, but one goalkeeper I'm really excited to see is Emily Bitka who is one of the goalkeepers for the North, the NCAA Division II single-season record for ground balls with 104 on the season. And we were very impressed with the goalkeepers in the first game because they saw a lot of offensive firepower out of the respective teams, and I would expect these goalkeepers to be a big factor in this contest as well.
We're here at U.S. Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. Wonderful facility we have here for this game. Of course, we're inside the just off the offices here for our perch above the field. And of course, what a beautiful field here as well. So just a nice place to kind of pay tribute to the game of lacrosse here in Sparks.
And if you didn't watch the first game, we had a nice feature where we had some footage of the Lacrosse Museum here. If you have not had an opportunity to check that out and you are a lacrosse fan, it's really a must-do thing on your list because just a lot of great history there, a lot of great things to see, and really celebrates the game of lacrosse so well.
So both teams huddling up before they go ahead and get started. Monica, I asked you this before the first game. I'll ask it to you again. All-Star game, obviously, maybe not as much strategy, though we saw the North do pretty well. Looked like they definitely got after their strategy. What are you looking at for out of these players today in a general sense?
Well, what worked well in the first game, and certainly I think will work well in all of the games today, was just the quick ball movement of the North in the first half. I think that helped secure the victory. They worked so well moving off ball when they did not have possession. They had good chemistry in terms of connecting on a lot of assisted goals in the first half, and of course they had some success in the draw control circle in the first half, which set the tone for them. And despite all the adjustments that the South made in the second half, it just was not enough to overcome the big lead that the North was able to put together in the first half.
Well, we've seen one North team win today. Will they take the second game of the day, the D2 All-Star game? Glad to have you along. Again, the South will be in the white, the North will be in the navy blue. Should be a fun one. Again, we talk about it a lot. You'll see great talent in Division I. Maybe lacrosse more than any other game. Sometimes you'll see some of those really top-notch players slip through the cracks a bit. And we'll see some folks here with a chance to put on a show in front of a nice crowd.
Just one more opportunity to shine for these ladies who have graduated from their respective institutions. Another day to play lacrosse, and as we talked about in the first game, they're very familiar with each other. You know a lot of the personnel from around the country. You've watched these people play for years, and so a lot of respect amongst all the athletes out on the field.
And we are underway. And here comes the South. This is Bulow. Shot and a quick early save by Olivia Kirk.
And we talked about her counterpart, Emily Bitka, but Olivia Kirk from Long Island University Post really had a great season as well. She was the ECC goalkeeper of the year, and she was fourth in the country in terms of save percentage with 52.9. So really some of the best in terms of the goalkeepers that we have in all three of today's contests.
Casey Gelberman sends it behind the cage. Chance here, passed off.
You see once again they're looking to go to goal early on. The shot clock was not much of a factor in the first contest that we saw. Excellent defense to close off the lane down the middle.
Inez Flick in goal for the South. Mentioned Olivia Kirk already for the North in net. Bulow settles down, passes it off to Santoli out of Florida Southern.
Of course, Florida Southern, such a well-known Division II women's lacrosse program. Every year they seem to be contenders as of late. They were the 2017 and 2018 runners-up.
Elle McMillan out of Tiffin with our first goal here in our D2 All-Star game. She scores to break the ice for the South.
And a great opening goal here for this team from the South. Elle McMillan just picking up right where she left off during her season. She had 66 goals and 10 assists on the year. And in fact, she was second in the GLIAC in terms of goals scored. another look here. You see the great cut. Knocked away. Just the ball bouncing around. Actually not sure that is the replay we were.
No,
And actually there she goes. Yep. Picking up possession. And look at the shot by McMillan into the back of the net.
Speaking of shots, we have another one as another goal has been scored. Mazlia out of the University of New Haven puts this one away to tie it back up at 1.
So Mazlia getting on the scoreboard first for the North. 41 goals on the year for Mazlia, 40 assists. So 81 points in her senior season.
Pretty even distribution right there, huh?
Absolutely. She had one game this year where she had 9 assists in that contest, just to give you a sense of the ability of Jessica Mazlia to take over a contest.
Draw control win by the South.
Good pressure on the ride. We're going to get a whistle there, though.
And whistles were few and far between in our opening game.
Certainly let the players play in that contest. Not a lot of stoppages.
And cut off there. Trying to direct some traffic is Bulow. Nice play, but an even better stop there by Olivia Kirk.
That was Emily Santoli. Once again, out of Florida Southern, they are trying to get her involved very early in this contest, and why not? 72 goals on the year, but well defended.
Looking for the feed in front. Gets loose, though, but tracked down, and the North will go and set up their offense.
And Flick was out of goal trying to get possession, but she quickly gets back into position.
There's Leah and Jaylee working behind the net, now back out to the top. Jaylee trying for the skip pass. Chance at an opening. Here's a point-blank shot and a score. This time, Alyssa Milano puts it away for a 2-goal lead for the North.
And this is exactly what we were talking about in terms of being successful in this game, with good passing to set up your teammates. Scannell doing an excellent job. That was a difficult pass to make, a good catch by Milano. And then Milano with the finish. Just a very special player for the New York Institute of Technology.
With a famous name.
And she, of course, is her program's career record holder for goals.
Draw one by the South. Looking for the equalizer.
Nice job by Newman to win possession for her team.
Pass in front and a score. Nice give and go. Started, got it to Izzo from Luca. Luca got it back and did not miss. The senior out of Belmont Abbey ties this one up at 2.
And again, these goals being scored by the quick passing, the assists from teammates, being very unselfish to set up good offensive opportunities. Look at this finish by Luca, the goalkeeper, coming out a bit, trying to close off that angle, and Luca taking advantage. And we talked about her numbers in the open, what she was able to do. I mean, to average over 4 goals per game, she absolutely lights it up out on the field.
That ground ball won by Haley McCusker out of Coker College. Pass in front, knocked down by a defender's stick from the South.
That was Tiffany Anderson, another player out of Tiffin.
South looking to break out, instead lose it for a second, but a good job on the ground ball by Luca.
And look at Luca just working her way around defenders, clearing the ball up the field.
Trailer coming up that one, lost it. Still south ball, shoveled off. South looking for that cutter, all tied up at 2. Glad to have you along here in Sparks, Maryland.
And the passing getting a little sloppy on this possession for the South. They are able to hang on, but just not looking as crisp on offense as on other possessions that we have seen out of them in this contest.
Shot, and that's a score. Maybe a little screen involved there, and Shannon Sisk took advantage of it. The senior out of Limestone and hailing out of Brooklyn, Ontario, puts it away to give the South a 3-2 lead.
And Shannon Sisk, I've already talked a little bit about her. This year she had 43 goals, 82 assists for 125 points on the season. You're going to see here, again, just working through the defenders. Look at that shot. That was a difficult shot for Shannon Sisk, the 2-time Conference Carolinas Offensive Player of the Year.
Would look like, Monica, that Morgan Cushing there on the guard out of Assumption, she kind of flicked it low right under her arm, so you have to wonder, did Kirk even see the shot coming?
That was an excellent job by Rebecca Stronberg from Belmont in the draw control circle to deflect that right to her teammate.
Coming up on 10 minutes gone, our opening half here in our D2 All-Star game. Glad to have you along, IWLCA, here at the U.S. Lacrosse facility in Sparks, Maryland. 3-2, the South with the lead. Our first game of the day, the D1 game, won by the North 12-11 as they hung on after building a big lead. No such luck here. These teams kind of playing close to each other for now, though we could see a run as it is lacrosse.
Absolutely. Lacrosse, a game of runs. Your success in the draw control circle can really help you put together a quick lead. But so far, Jeremy, we've seen a lot of good defense in this contest. Some good interceptions as both defensive units reading very well what's going on. You see pressure on the ride here.
Nothing there as the North defense gets back. Here's a cutter. Will they find her? They will. And a great save there by Kirk to get a piece of it.
Olivia Kirk doing a nice job, and then her defender right there to scoop up the loose ball for the North.
Ocaticcio brings it across the restraining line. Will she take it to net? She'll find a friendly. A shot wide of the cage. That one by Emily Jaley of Mercy College. Quick restart, chance, and a score. Boy, caught him sleeping, and the beneficiary was Alexa Bedell out of South New Hampshire University.
And we talked about that in the first game, the ability to take advantage very quickly, to not waste a lot of time. And it is Bedell. 43 goals this year for Southern New Hampshire University and 88 draw control wins for Alexa Bedell on the season. Just every statistical category for her that looked across on the stat sheet, so impressive. 13 of 21 on free position shots. She is just a player that made the most of her opportunities this year, and this is Bedell making the most of that opportunity right there.
Nice feed from behind. Believe that one came from Sarah Gabrielle out of Kutztown. Yeah, we're knotted up at 3. Back in the circle. This one fought for. Nice push along there and ends up in the cross for the North. Quick chance here in transition and a save by Kirk off the shot from Bulow.
She has had a very strong first half. Again, out of Long Island University Post. So being coached today by her coach, Meghan McNamara.
Up in the air and flick, able to grab it. South trying to quickly transition. Instead, it's picked off. Good defense by Pierce.
Not a good decision right there. The long clearing pass picked off by the defense.
Stays with the North as that South defense converged on Mazzalia.
Fusco backing up the possession.
That's a shot and a score. So Sabrina Fusco out of Millersville backs her way in, then scores to give the North a 4-3 lead.
And Sabrina Fusco is the all-time leader with points, 277 for Millersville, and 223 of those were goals. We're going to get another look here. She backed up that shot, was able to change direction here to work to the inside of her defender. Watch this move by Fusco, just getting the defender on her heels. The shot, what an individual effort by Sabrina Fusco.
Tell you, a basketball player would be proud of that post move.
Absolutely. Well, and of course, a lot of these players are players that have played multiple sports in their careers, and it certainly looked like some basketball footwork out on the field.
A little bit of dream shake on that one to get herself open for the goal. And now the North looking for a 2-goal lead, though pressure being applied by the South, Bulow and Valenzuela. But the North able to set up their offense.
Scannell doing a nice job winning that draw.
And another goal for the North. Nice feed, and Beth Ann Pierce puts it away.
And she is one of those players from Adelphi. 48 goals in her senior season. And a huge goal here for the North. And again, just created off of quick passing, not wasting a lot of time on offense.
Pierce hailing from just down the road from me in Middleburg, Virginia. Of course, horse country out there. Kennedys used to spend time out there. And Pierce looking very good on this play.
Absolutely, again, just wasting no time. Look at this opportunity here for Beth Ann Pierce. It was a nice catch. Good shot placement for Pierce.
And you got to love the cut on that play, Monica. Right when her offensive player ended up getting in the right spot, she cuts right to the net. Quick find, quick goal.
And we've talked so much today how that has been critical, really has been the storyline in both contests that we've seen so far. These players moving off ball, setting up opportunities, but the defenders certainly shining in this contest as Meghan Videla from Florida Southern with a nice defensive play.
Yeah, you mentioned that Florida Southern team powerhouse program. Pass, shot, that's wide of the cage off the stick of McMillan.
She has been very active today so far for the South on offense.
O'Brien dishes off to Pasquale.
And great defense once again. I mean, we've seen some nice goals in this contest, but the defensive effort by these two squads, and again, not necessarily something you always focus on in an all-star contest.
Can be a transition chance in front and couldn't find the cutter as O'Brien was trying to get there, had a defender on her back and ends up loose, and it'll be North ball.
Nice job by Olivia Kirk once again coming out of goal. She has had a very solid first half for the North so far.
Pads ahead. This is Romer. North with a 2-goal lead, trying to make it 3.
Once again, doing a nice job working the ball around, getting everyone involved on offense, getting some good movement off ball, but a dangerous pass scooped up by the defense.
This is Bulow. Good shot at a transition chance if she takes it all the way. Defense converges. She'll dish it off. Pass in front. Shot. Another save by Kirk.
Kirk continuing to be very impressive in this contest. Has certainly been a difference maker for the North, not allowing the South to try to tie things up.
You saw in that last play by the South, you wonder if they just push it a little bit more. They kind of settled in and gave Kirk a chance to get her bearings. Here's a pass. This one off the pipe. Stays out of the goal, but the North retains possession. Gabrielle looking for a cutter. She finds one, and the North with a goal. That one put away by Sabrina Fusco.
And that offensive possession so well executed by the North. Again, it's just everything that we have been talking about today, because these assisted goals, these players who had a practice yesterday but are not used to playing together, yet they play together so well, setting up their teammates. So much unselfishness today, but that's really what it takes to score games in a contest like this, because these defenders are some of the best of the best. So once again, you see in the defender right there really pressuring. Great vision by these players out on the field, constantly looking for their teammates. You see Fusco there calling for the ball. Gabrielle spots her. What a catch and finish.
Monica, that's reminiscent of the old saying in football, put it only where your guy can get it. I mean, that's perfect place right there, because it's really the only place that can get to the stick and get the shot off in one fluid motion, and it leads to a goal.
And Sarah Gabrielle, 41 goals, 20 assists on the year. So assists were not necessarily the bread and butter of her game, but she's the first player in Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference history to hold a school's career goals, assists, and points records.
It's pretty good.
And she has done a great job helping to set up her teammates today. 176 career goals, 57 assists for 233 points.
Staggering numbers, and then the South with a unforced turnover there. Ends up getting by Luca, who couldn't gather it in. Jaylee, the GLE, trying to find an opening. Off the pipe again.
Unlucky there. She was so close, doing a nice job trying to create.
Coming up on 10 minutes to go in our opening half here in the Division II All-Star Game, IWLCA style. Glad to have you along here in Sparks, Maryland. Shot, and that will be a score. As putting that one away, Rebecca Luca for her second of the game.
And Luca just biding her time on that opportunity. She was very patient, getting in as close as she could before taking that opportunity. I mean, we've previewed her before the game, just such a talented player on offense, can be almost unstoppable. Another look here, just the patience. See, switch of direction to work around the defense, the patience, waiting for the right moment, and the shot by Rebecca Luca.
Yeah, again, it's not surprising she would figure out a way to score a goal. As you mentioned, the career numbers, had an 8-goal game early in April against Erskine College, so she can definitely find the back of the net.
Nice draw control win there by Alex O'Herrick.
Chance
what a
here.
Find. That is Gabrielle again, I believe, with the assist.
And Fusco with the goal on the reverse shot. Again, we talked about it in the first game, Monica. This is a chance for some of these ladies to show off their skill sets, and boy, you don't get much better than that.
We have seen some beautiful goals today. And again, with the level of talent that we have in today's competitions, unsurprising. But these players, and a standout for me has been Gabrielle with her ability to find her teammates. Look at this pass and catch the shot. So well executed. Sabrina Fusco having quite a day as well. I believe she has the hat trick already in the first half.
She does. Only had one hat trick in our Division I All-Star game. Already have one now in the first half, and that's pretty much an unstoppable shot there from Fusco, as long as she puts it on cage, because you're just not expecting someone to do that, kind of coming off of, really being posted up to go with that shot. Just impossible for a Flick to go ahead and stop it. Speaking of stops, we have one on the other end by Kirk, and here comes the North. If they throw this one away, and they will have a whistle. So it'll come back, but it will still be the North ball.
And that was an excellent job by Aaron Woods. The goalkeeper got the stop, and Woods was right there to get possession for the North. Had 63 consecutive starts for Bentley, did Aaron Woods.
Coming up on 7 minutes to go, as the North leads the South 7-4. Intercepted there. Nice defensive play by the South and defender Sarah Geber out of Westchester University.
Rare mistake there by Gabrielle, who we've been talking so much about.
Pass ahead, transition chance, though lost and picked up by the North. Good job by Cushing to start the break. Here comes Bedell. Doesn't have numbers, takes the shot anyway. A flag goes up. And it looks like this is going to be a play on.
Bedell actually wearing a helmet out on the field.
Don't see that often, but some say that could be the future of women's lacrosse. Never quite know.
A lot of resistance, though, to that idea in the women's game.
Pass in front on the doorstep. That one again, it was Kirk getting a piece to keep it out of the net.
She has done such a solid job back in goal in this first half for the North.
So back out to the top. Skinnell keeps it moving. Mazzalia working behind the cage, sends it back out to the top. A little slower pace for the North in their last few possessions. Here they come.
Thinking the same thing, that they're showing a lot of patience on this possession.
Mazzalia this time stopped by Flick.
Didn't really get the look that they wanted on that possession. That was a well-defended possession for the South. Now Sarah Gebry trying to push the ball up the field on the clear.
South looking to get back into this one, trailing by 3 goals with under 5 minutes to play in our opening half.
Once again, getting some good movement on this possession.
And another save by Kirk. What a first half for Olivia Kirk, Monica.
60 career wins for Olivia Kirk, and you are certainly seeing why. It has been a brick wall over the past few minutes for the South, just not able to get anything past Olivia Kirk. She has been outstanding in this first half and a big reason to help preserve this 3-goal lead for the North. She's just seeing the ball very well today. Nothing flashy in terms of what she's doing back there, but just very solid goalkeeping out of Olivia Kirk.
So the North trying to add on to their 3-goal lead. Set it behind the cage. Pass to the front. Loose ball. They'll blow the whistle. It'll stay with the North.
And that was nice defense by Emily Santoli.
Mazzalia Flick with the save and able to keep it out of the net.
What a reaction by Flick to be able to stick with the ball and not allow it to go into the goal.
But then with a tough pass that Mazzalia almost picked off. But fortunately for the South, they were able to gain control, then throw the pass away. Here comes North the other way. Nice quick pass to get the break started. This is Pierce.
A little frenetic out on the field. Bit of some sloppy play with the passing. Can the North take advantage?
Shot, they do. As this time, Alyssa Milano with her second of the game.
And again, they are doing what has been working so well, the quick pass, the strong finish off the assisted goal for the North, now doubling the goals scored by the South so far in this first half. There's another look here. Again, just great team lacrosse. The nice catch in traffic by Alyssa Milano. She had two defenders right there. We talked about what a special player she is, and she has certainly shown why today in this All-Star game.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go in our opening half in our Division II All-Star game. With that 4-goal lead for the North. Let's see. Maybe more than one goal could be scored here in the late going. You'd think if it was a normal game, Monica, you might not see that. It might slow the pace down, try to take all that shot clock, but obviously that has not been an issue in this game so far today.
Absolutely. We have not even mentioned the shot clock has not been a factor in this contest.
Speaking of shots, that's another one put away as the South able to cut into that lead a little bit. Allison Hurley with her first goal of the day.
Hurley out of Lindenwood, 94 points during her senior campaign. That's the second highest single season total in program history. She is Lindenwood's all-time leader in points with 259 and assists with 122. We get another look here. So some renewed life here for the South off of that opportunity by Allison Hurley.
Going top shelf. Able to beat Kirk, who has had herself a great first half. Likely to see her last action of the day as the D1 teams went with their two goalies, one played each half. Chance here, shot and score. Two quick ones for the South. This time it was Dana DePasquale.
DePasquale doing a nice job once again, taking advantage. The defense not settled. A very quick goal, and again just emphasizes how quickly you can come back in the game of lacrosse. We are back to just a 2-goal lead here for the North. What a finish by the South in this first half as we're going to get another look here at DePasquale's goal. So DePasquale, the defense trying to slide over. Great shot by the player out of McKendree.
And that'll do it for our opening half here in our IWLCA Division II All-Star game from Sparks, Maryland. Again, the North with an 8-6 lead on the South. We'll take a quick pause, and as we do, we'll check out all the things to look at here at the Lacrosse Museum here at the U.S. Lacrosse headquarters. The half as the North leads the South 8-6. Jeremy Huber, Monica Moore back with you. And Monica, again, little different game than we saw in the first matchup between the D1 All-Stars where the North jumped out to a big lead. The South kind of reeled them in. This one was really kind of a neck and neck early on before the North kind of imposed their will a little bit.
Absolutely. It was a very close contest until the North able to stretch their lead out to 4, which was the biggest that we had in the first half. But then credit to the South. They came roaring back in those last few minutes of the first half to cut this lead back down to 2. And really credit to the defenses. I mean, we did see 14 goals scored, but there were some nice defensive plays out on the field. And despite those 2 late goals in the first half, I thought that Kirk had an exceptional first half for the North.
Yeah, Olivia Kirk, the goalie for the North. Leading scorers in that first half, Sabrina Fusco had 3 goals for the North. Alyssa Milano had 2. Leading scorer for the South, Rebecca Luca, had 2 goals, no one with more than 1 in that opening half. So back to second half action. North in the navy blue while the South is in the white. 2-goal lead for the North at the half. We'll see what it's like at the end of regulation. Thank you so much for joining us today for this matchup. Again, a little bit of a weather possible, but we're hoping to get at least this game through, with the D3 game coming up after this one scheduled for it. And the North will go to work up by 2.
So the North with a nice draw control win to start off this second half, and they had some great passing and assisted goals in the first half. We talked a lot about that. Didn't mention it, but Sarah Gabrielle, with some of those assists she had in the first half, very impressive for the North, was a big storyline. But another defensive play for Erica Newman.
And then thrown away off the clear attempt. Again, the defense doing some good things. We've seen that a few times, Monica, where they've made good defensive plays, but then thrown away the outlet pass.
Which will give another opportunity here to this North squad. That very similar to the North squad in the first game this afternoon. Not taking a ton of time on a lot of their offensive opportunities before getting a crack at goal. Of course, we've had goalkeeper changes, so it is Bitka back in, or sorry, it is Ortel back in goal for the South, and Bitka in goal for the North.
Chance for a takeaway here, and knocked out of play, and they'll say that is South ball. So good defensive play for a second there by Cachadillo, and then it was taken right back.
It was McNamara.
Now thrown away again.
Defensive play, but this is a very sloppy start to our second half. Can the North hang on to possession right here to get a good look at goal? So Zanicki with possession. First team all ECC.
Loose ball there. That's typifying the start of this first half as Raymer just trying to make the easy pass, loses it out of her cross.
Yeah, has not been the prettiest start.
Pretty save, though, there by the South goalie Ortel out of Lindenwood University, just down the road in Ellicott City, Maryland. Of course, Ellicott City been dealing with that terrible flooding that they've been having issues with.
Just seeing the pictures on the news, just devastating. But Ortel, 6th in Division II with a GAA of 8.19.
Work behind the cage. This is Sisk and Izzo. Izzo looking for the cutter. She finds her. Save made, but flag will come out. And a free position coming up for the South.
And this will be our first free position opportunity of this game. So that pretty much mirrors our first contest. We didn't get our first free position until the second half as well. What a stop.
Luca took it. It was Bitka on the save. And let's see if that momentum could lead to a goal for the North.
We talked about all the accolades for Emily Bitka in her career at Slippery Rock. First goalie in PSAC history to be named Conference Athlete of the Year is Emily Bitka.
And that's saying a lot because, you know, unlike maybe hockey, It looks like we're going to have an offsides call here. Excuse me. They're going to give this one over to the South. But unlike hockey, where you can see goaltenders really take games, it's tough in lacrosse because the way they don't have the padding. The shots come at them a little bit more. It's especially women's lacrosse. It's a tough situation to be that good to get those type of all-conference honors. Here's a chance here for the South, and they'll put it away. Great stick fakes and a good shot by Taylor Izzo, her first of the game.
An excellent goal by Taylor Izzo out of Mercyhurst University. 9th in Division II with 3.25 assists per game. Was definitely known as more of a distributor this year than a goal scorer, but she did have 35 goals in her senior campaign, and you see the umbrellas coming out because the rain has started here on the field.
That's okay. We just don't want to see thunder and lightning.
But the South, after being down by 4, has scored the last 3 in this contest to get right back in this game.
So back in the circle as the rain coming down here in Sparks, Maryland. South with the win. Can they get the tie? Santoli with it. She'll dish off.
Great ball movement.
And a good save there coming out of net was Bitka to make it tough. Ends up back with the South, though.
You may not be able to tell it, but it is really pouring here. The rain coming down, the wind blowing.
There's a shot. Another save by Bitka. Chased down. Good ground ball pickup for a second, but knocked away by Bulow. And the South will take another chance at this.
They can tie it up.
Bitka got a stick on it, almost gathered it in. And they'll say this will be North ball.
Nice defensive work by Haley McCusker out of Coker College.
It's thrown away, but they'll be scooped up. Long pass across the field.
And it has been a while since the North has scored a goal.
That was Najma James chasing that one down. Whistle blows again. I'll have a free position here, but circle. So the North going to work, up by 1 goal. And a lead as big as 4 at one point. Shot. Still loose. He'll come up with it. Now the whistle does blow.
And McCusker has just been battling out on the field for the North. No surprise when you look at her stat line because she really fills all the statistical categories as well. 54 ground balls, 82 draw control wins.
Bedell with the free position. Here it comes. She shoots and knocked away again. The defense and Ortel making the play.
We talked a little bit about the North's defense in the first half, but the South's defense has not given up a goal in quite some time.
Trying for that long outlet pass.
Good pressure by McCusker. Again, she is just absolutely everywhere out on the field.
Bulow. Nothing there. She'll double it back out. Looking for the good feed, but couldn't find its way to McMillan due to the defense from the North. Pass ahead. James will track it down. Looked like the North had numbers there, and they finally get someone towards the net, but it's Bedell, and she can't bring it in.
Fusco working so hard trying to generate some offense.
Whistle will blow. And after seeing no free positions in the first half, maybe one, we're seeing a bevy of them here. This time it'll be Fusco. Referee gets everyone set. Fusco goes to work. She shoots, and she scores.
What a contest Sabrina Fusco is having in this all-star game. Again, we talked about the fact she averages 4 per game, and true to form, Sabrina Fusco already with 4 in this contest for the North. 87 goals on the year. That is just a tremendous number to put up. She's the career record holder. In fact, 4 goals at the New York Institute of Technology. Take a look at this free position opportunity. Well done. Great placement to the outside of the goalkeeper, but just able to get that shot placement exactly where she wanted it to be. She has really impressed in today's contest.
Ortel never really had a chance on that one. And the lead back to 2 goals for this North squad.
Nice speed out of Beth Ann Pierce.
That'll go wide of the cage. This defender got a stick on it, trying to cut off that pass on the run to Jaylee. And because of no backup, it'll be South ball. 10 minutes down in our second half in our IWLCA Division II All-Star game. The North with a 2-goal lead. This is Valenzuela.
Just looking for anyone to stop her. She did a great job bringing the ball up the field.
Good reaction by the North defense. Again, trying to find those cutters. They're not really there right now for the South. Good play there. Taking it up the field is Scannell.
And again, Scannell doing a nice job winning that possession.
Gabrielle puts it away for another goal for the North.
And again, we talked about it. She led her team this year, 41 goals on the season. She is 20th in PSAC history in scoring and 27th in points. Take a look at this goal by Gabrielle, who was such a good distributor in the first half. And a much-needed goal by the North because they stretched this lead back out to 3. We've talked so much about the offense today for Gabrielle, but you have to remember that she also had 119 draws in her career.
So many of these players can do so many special things, and we see that firsthand. That will end up in the back of the net. Again, the North putting on their own personal run here. This is Zanicki, the other player out of the New York Institute of Technology. She puts it away, and again, the lead grows back out to 4 for the North.
And as you said, it has just been a barrage of goals by the North. After the South had cut this lead down to 1, it is now back out to what has been the biggest lead of the day for the North, which is 4 goals.
Really a bit of muscle flexing by the North here.
The rain has let up just a bit as we get another good look at this last goal. And once again, you see the defender right there, but she got that shot off around the defender. Carrie Zanicki.
Ortel being really active on that last play. You wonder if maybe a little too active, or just because this is an all-star game, the fact that maybe her normal defenseman would know, hey, this is the tendency she has. She kind of jumped out on that play. It might have got burned on it.
And so for the North, they are on a big scoring run right here and have possession once again. Good idea, just deflected by the defense.
Picked up by Jaylee. Chance here and another goal. And again, it is Zanicki, her second of the game, and does it very quickly. Again, as this lead grows out for the North, out to 12-7.
And this was such a smart decision by Emily Jaley. You see her head was up. She was looking for who was the best option. She spotted Carrie Zanicki on that left side. Good decision making by Emily Jaley. Most assists in program history for Mercy College. See Jaley surveying her options, spots the nice cut by Zanicki. Difficult catch for Zanicki, but see her turn. Her defender had run past her and then going with a little bounce shot into the net. Back-to-back goals for Carrie Zanicki.
Yeah, Zanicki, first team all ECC, then second team all ECAC. It was the second team region selection in the IWLCA teams. So the South trying to stem the North's momentum, but plays like that won't make it happen. Good transition chance here. This is James. She's got numbers, long pass ahead, can't connect. And it'll be scooped up by Ortel. Maybe a little too aggressive for the North on that possession.
Certainly don't need to force things at this point because they are up by 5. They want to make smart decisions in their clearing game, but James is going to get it right back for her team with a great check.
See the athleticism of James right there. Just kind of gliding behind the offensive player. Nice little stick check to take it away. Now a player fell down. Numbers, will they be able to score? They could not, as Ortel able to make the save.
That is another nice stop for the goalkeeper out of Lindenwood University.
But another thrown away outlet pass, and the whistle will give it back to James in the North.
James has been very active in this second half for the North, really trying to help bring the ball down the field and playing some good defense on the ride when needed.
Zanicki has it. I tell you what, this would be a natural hat trick for her. And you should try and feed her the ball. I don't see those very often in lacrosse. 3 straight goals by a player. So they'll have a chance at it. Let's see if they can find her.
We're getting some good movement out of Fusco as well, who's hungry for her 5th of the day.
Jaley trying to back her way down. Can't do it. Taken away. Long outlet pass. Whistle blows. They'll let them keep going.
That call going to go against McDonough.
Sisk passes it off and can't connect. May have been a beautiful goal, but couldn't find the stick of Luca, and it's a turnover.
And it would have been pretty if they were able to get it together. Again, those were our 2 players to watch for the South.
Comes the North again, looking to add on to this 5-goal lead. Just over 13 minutes to go in regulation. North won our first game of the day, the D1 All-Star game, by a 1-goal margin.
Jaley looked like she might have slipped on the turf, perhaps still slick from that downpour of rain that we had. There has been a reprieve from the weather. The question is, how long will it last?
Let me say on this turf, it's almost worse when it rains a little bit than when it rains a lot. Once it rains a lot, it kind of gets everything settled down and folks can keep their footing. But right at the first little storm, that's when it gets slick, and we are seeing some players fall down here. South's got to go to work. They've got time.
The draw controls, though, are going to be very critical for the South, trying to get back in this contest down by 5, and they have to value every single one of their possessions. They don't have to force anything.
That's a shot, fought off and scooped up by Bitka.
Once again, long clearing pass for the North, but now some open field.
Where do they go with it? Pass off, shot, this time a save by Ortel.
That was a really nice save by Rachel Ortel. the RMAC Goalie of the Year in each of her 4 seasons at Lindenwood.
It's funny, you can see we talked about the difficulty in, playing in a game where your teammates don't know you as well. Ortel's whipped out some quick outlet passes that her teammates just haven't been ready to handle. And there is another goal for the North, so they keep the run going, this time Casey Gelberman out of Pace University.
And we talked a little bit in our first game. We had a goalkeeper that was part of UMass Lowell's beginnings to their program. Well, Casey Gelberman, the exact same thing. She was part of Pace's first ever team in 2015. As you're going to get a nice look at her goal here, and none other than Gabrielle getting things going for the North. She has been so instrumental in terms of spotting these cutters. As you see Gelberman into your screen will get the goal here.
Not much that Ortel could do. Gelberman able to put that one away.
And so Gelberman, 218 career goals for Pace. So, of course, she is their program leader right now. And, again, just another one of those players that has set the tone for a school that is beginning their lacrosse program.
Chance for the North again. They don't have the transition opportunity, so they'll settle it in.
But, again, just winning that draw control. Now that we are under the 10-minute mark, very critical here because the South is going to have to excel in the circle if they want any chance of winning this contest at this point.
Gabrielle passes on the doorstep, going for that behind-the-head shot. This time, though, Fusco shut down by Ortel.
Another quick outlet pass by Ortel, but her team this time able to handle it.
Long pass ahead, almost picked off. It's loose, and it will not get across the sideline. Now it will, and they will say that is South ball.
And once again, the South needing a very solid offensive possession here. They are down by 6. We are under 10 minutes remaining in this second half. They have built themselves a pretty big deficit.
Shot wide of the cage off some contact from the defense. Scooped back up by the South. They're in the white, North in the navy blue today.
And again, they're going to get a fresh shot clock here, but the shot clock has been a non-factor, and I don't expect it to be on this possession because they need some goals pretty quickly.
Good job there by Bulow. Instead of forcing the shot, just kept it in across. Got plenty of time left on the shot clock.
Good find inside.
Whistle blows. This will be a free position for the South. So definitely this has gotten called a bit tighter, especially in the second half. Bulow and ends up wide of the cage. I think she got stick checked as she was coming in.
I think that was a nice defensive play by Courtney Duffy.
Under 8 to go here in regulation. A 6-goal lead for the North as they again have possession.
A pretty comfortable lead at this point because the North playing very well, doing a lot of the little things as well. That was a well-defended possession by the North. They won the last draw control opportunity, and again, they have really put their feet on the gas pedal in terms of stretching out this lead after the South was able to go on a pretty big run to get within 1.
Shot again, stick to side by Ortel.
And Ortel has come up with some stops in this second half to try to keep her team within striking distance.
Looks like Ortel going to come out of the cage as the South knows they've got to put on some offensive pressure to find the back of the net. Now she'll head back. O'Brien sends this one along in front. Save. Stick check keeps it alive, though, and chased down by Bitka.
I know Brian made that decision. All of her teammates not really around the goal, so she decided to go inside and to try to create an opportunity.
Pass across. Will the North go in? They will, but defense comes up. Batted in and a goal. What a heads-up play by Mazzalia for her second of the day.
Well, unlucky on that one for the North because Mazzalia just stuck with it and got the score for the South. And again, a much-needed goal right here by Jessica Mazzalia. Team MVP for the University of New Haven this year.
I'll tell you, she's out in New York. I bet she's a Yankees fan. They're playing in Baltimore today. They'd be proud of this, I think, on this goal as she just kind of slugged it in off the loose ball.
So Mazzalia again taking advantage of opportunities, but time is not on the side of the South right now.
That loose ball again popped up in the air, and she just takes a whack at it.
Very well executed by Mazzalia. You don't see that every day in the game of lacrosse, but you have to do whatever it takes to get it done, and that is what Jessica Mazzalia did on that possession for the South.
Another slip at midfield will give the ball back to the South, but they've got work to do. Under 5 minutes, trailing by 7 goals.
So again, for the South, they need to do what was working so well for them. They need to get some good cuts. They were looking inside on that possession, but look at the North goalkeeper, Emily Bitka.
Yeah, that's been a big part of her game in the second half, is anytime they send a cutter, Bitka's coming out to attack the pass. Look how far out of the goal she is right there. She'll drop back. But again, the South just can't connect on those passes right in front.
And that's James once again scooping up the ball for the North.
Alex O'Herrick out of Lock Haven University. Trying to find a friendly.
And what a year she had, 7th in Division II in draw controls per game with 7.42. That is a very impressive statistic in terms of winning possession for her team. .141 draw wins on the year.
Kicked out. Tracked down. Bedell. And one handcuffs Jaylee, but she's able to track it down before it goes out of bounds. Here's Mazzalia.
So shot clock under 30.
Knocked away.
But of course, at this point, I think the North is happy just to run some time off the shot clock.
This is Izzo coming down the flank. Passes ahead. Sisk looking for the cutter again, making it a tough pass. The very active Emily Bitka.
She has not disappointed just how active she is in goal. You certainly see why she's the single season record holder for ground balls, because she's just all over the place.
And Mazzalia, she has a hat trick. So putting it away, the University of New Haven product, Jessica Mazzalia, she has her own hat trick in this game.
We talked about it. She had a 9-assist game this year. She had a 7-goal game this year. She's just a difference maker out on the field. She has done that during her career for the University of New Haven. And let me tell you, over the past few minutes in this second half, Jessica Mazzalia has certainly been a difference maker in this contest. As we're going to get another look here, that was a nice goal. Great placement by Mazzalia.
So we dip under 2 minutes on our running clock, and this one all but done as the North now with an 8-goal lead. Blown this thing open.
That has definitely been the North's day so far. You'll have to stay tuned to see if that holds true in the Division III contest as well. Nice pass.
And again, they can't find the net. Now they finally will. So the South, that will not end up in the net.
Certainly looked like it from this angle for a moment.
So the drought continues for the South. Bedell able to grab that one, loses control for a second, scoops it back up. Slight difference, shot the game clock. North can run it all the way down if they choose, pretty much all the way down, but I think they're going to go for it. It's
Absolutely.
big of a lead.
With this big of a lead, this is an all-star game. They want to give people a chance to shine. They are actually stretching out the field quite a bit, perhaps holding for the last shot. Actually, about a 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
And another goal, and again, it's Mazlia.
Again, the difference maker over the past few minutes, Jessica Mazlia. It all started with that crazy goal where she just batted it in, and then she has had 2 more after it. And, of course, she opened up our scoring in today's contest.
I'll tell you, Mazlia, I saw that plaque handed out after the D1 game. She wants one for her own. Looked like that was going to be all Sabrina Fusco, so she had the first half hat trick, added a 4th in the second half, but Mazlia has a second half hat trick, and she's got a total of 4 in the game.
And you see she's all smiles right now, and why not? With the performance she's had, again, just over the past few minutes, Jessica Mazlia closing out this contest. What a game.
And with our running clock, we are done as Mazlia scores it there. And the North with a big win in this one. They win it 16-7.
And remember, the South had closed it down to 1 at the beginnings of this second half. So credit to the North, because it was just an offensive explosion by the North in this second half. We talked about players like Fusco, of course, Mazlia having a huge contest in the second half. So many players, Sabrina Gabrielle doing a nice job spotting her teammates, and then Emily Bitka with some good stops and just some good heads-up plays in that second half to preserve the win for the North.
So you see the South team and their coach, Julia Duffy. And, of course, the North All-Stars under Meghan McNamara. Big game for them with a 16-7 win. We await the...
And it's going to be Bitka that's going to get the honors for our Player of the Game award. And, again, we highlighted her in the beginning of the show, and we were so impressed with her play back in goal in this second half, really making it impossible for the South to get back in this contest.
So Bitka, the player of the game, but don't forget Mazlia and Fusco, each with 4 goals. Alyssa Milano had 2. Only multiple goal scorer in this game for the South was Rebecca Lucas. She had 2, both of those coming in the first half. So the North with a nice win here as Monica, they go ahead and take the 16-7 win. Again, the North playing very well as they go ahead and get a victory in this Division II game and really kind of blew it open, as you said, late.
Well, they did, and they just had some players hit some hot streaks, because we talked about Fusco, who got a couple of big goals pretty close together, and, of course, what Mazlia was able to do in that second half. But credit their teammates as well, who did a great job finding them at the right times, and then with a goalkeeper that they had in goal like Emily Bitka, a well-deserved win for the North. And, of course, Meghan McNamara just continues her winning ways with that winning percentage. I don't think this one's going to count within that, but it was a great win for Coach McNamara.
Any win she gets, I'm sure she's happy to get it. Well, we got one more All-Star game coming up in just a bit. It's the D3 All-Star game here from Sparks. Come on back for that as we continue our coverage here from the U.S. Lacrosse headquarters, the IWLCA All-Star Games, the Division III matchup coming up in just a bit.